Welcome to Coffee with Blaine. Coffee, Blaine, new mic stand. How you guys doing today? Hopefully well. Can you guys hear me okay? We are hanging out today. I'm Kaylin. Good morning. That's right. That's where you can donate. Thank you, Kaylin. Megan, good morning. Good morning. Did you guys see the topic for today? Becky, good morning. Okay, I'm driving. Well, be safe. Be safe. Don't take your eyes off the wheel. Just listen to the soothing sounds of my voice at NPR Talk Radio. No problem. What's the topic? Mushrooms. That's the topic today. I was like, what are we going to talk about today? As I was sitting down here in my lonesome, in my dungeon. Good morning, Lindsay. Good morning, Jennifer. And I was like, ugh. I have my lion's mane. You probably can't see this. Lion's mane mushrooms, a 275 milligram capsule. These are grown by a buddy who that's his specialization. He grows mushrooms, and so he sent me these pills. And lion's mane is super crazy and super helpful. So we're talking about all kinds of mushrooms, Kaylin. I figured we run the gamut today. So they come in little capsules. Boop. And lion's mane mushrooms particularly are supposed to help rebuild neurons in the brain. Because the active compounds in lion's mane mushrooms are one of the few things on the planet that can penetrate the blood-brain barrier. So I have read. You are super crazy and super helpful, Lindsay. Thank you for always being so super helpful. And I mean that. That's not sarcasm. But yeah. So a few years ago, I started taking lion's mane mushrooms to help improve my previously ripped apart cranium. We'll just say it like that. And it seems to be working, I think. I feel smarter. Yeah, and then so as I was about to take my my lion's mane mushroom for the day, let's back up. I was taking these every day in whatever, and this dude hits me up and was asking me about mushrooms, and I was like, oh man, yeah, and he was mainly asking about mushrooms for psychotropic purposes, and he's like, yeah, man, I also grow other types of mushrooms. And I was like, yeah, man, I've been big into lion's mane. And he sent me a couple of these bottles. I'll link out to them in the description. But not saying go buy something. I'm just saying if you want to learn more, lion's mane is a good place to start. And since he was so nice to send them to me, I figured I'd link him out. He's not paying me. Let's get that out of the way. Though he did give me those. So, disclosure. Yeah. You guys know me. Anything I'm doing anyway. And if someone can help me do it better or help me do it freer, that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, Yeah, he hooked me up with these lion's mane capsules. Been taking them pretty consistently, basically daily. What up, J-Dog? Twitch life. Yeah, you are helping my viewer count go up. Anyone who has a Twitch account, if you follow me on Twitch, the follows are my next step to ad revenue or affiliate marketing revenue. So yeah, I think I'm at 14 Twitch follows, which is crazy because I never do anything on Twitch except this live stream, and I need 50 to hit that. Blaine's official sponsor, the Shroom Dude. Yeah, exactly. But anyway, Kaylin, we had a pseudo conversation several live streams ago about my personal relationship with mushrooms in the context that I hated just eating mushrooms. But I loved magic mushrooms. And then I was until 30 years old that I decided that I even faked an allergy to mushrooms for several years so that I wouldn't have to eat them. But then I hit 30 and then I tried them on a whim, like, okay, because I think I was going vegetarian at the time. And boom. Yeah, I was going, because I was a pescatarian before and doing some poultry and stuff, but I was going full vegetarian. It's like, I gotta at least try them because I'm kind of cutting out a lot of foods here. And I freaking love them. And I wish I would have known that earlier, how much I love mushrooms. Blaine does what Blaine wants to do. All of these are true. Sounds like a religion. Yeah, something like that. I mean, you can argue that diet is part of religion if you're religious. I'm not a fan of the food mushrooms. Never had the trippy kind. They taste worse than food mushrooms, FYI, Becky. You just put up with them because, yeah, stuffed mushrooms are amazing. One of my favorites is to hollow out a giant mushroom cap and fill it with peppers and chorizo and stuff like that, and then do a layer of cheese over top. So good. And you just pick it up and eat it. And there's so many different kinds of mushrooms. I think we've been on this tip of using criminy mushrooms, which are basically the white and the brown ones that you, or portobello mushrooms. Those two mushrooms. And the little ones and the big ones are the same species of mushrooms. The right ones and the brown ones are the same species of mushroom. Exactly, Lindsay. And we're so conditioned that this is the mushroom, and we eat them in the same ways all the time. We eat them in some sort of cream-based soup or cream-based topping to noodles, or in some sort of casserole, or it's like I don't know. They're just in there. But they're generally not the feature of a dish, and there's so many different ways to prepare them, and there's so many different types of mushrooms that you can incorporate that have different flavors. Shiitake mushrooms are incredible, and they have a totally different flavor from other mushrooms. There's so many different types. I have a friend who's a mushroom. His Instagram handle, I believe, is Tyler Mushroom. And he just goes out in the wild and he picks wild mushrooms to eat. Now he's trained, so like he knows exactly what to look for. Don't go do that. But it's crazy. So let's get some more of your guys' thoughts on mushrooms. Let's see what we're dealing with. I always have to tell yourself, I'm just tripping. Yeah. So the nice thing, Becky, about mushrooms versus doing like something like LSD is mushrooms, you can actually influence the amount that you're tripping by the amount of food that you can consume. So excess food will dilute and help bring you down with mushrooms. But with when you're tripping, it doesn't matter. When you're on LSD, like nothing's gonna slow that process. You're in it to win it. Psychedelic and peanut butter. Yeah. Jennifer loves all mushrooms. So away from the trippy aspect of mushrooms, for those of you who eat mushrooms, what are your favorite ways to prepare mushrooms to eat? Yeah, yeah. And while we're doing this, I'm going to get another capsule. Welcome to Pills with Blaine. This is my B complex pills. I take these every day too. These give me all of my B vitamins. What do we got in here? We got B1, we got B2, we got niacin, which is B3, I believe. We got B6. We got folate, which is B8, I want to say. We got biotin, which I'm not sure. I think that's a B as well. We got B12. We got panthoric acid and choline, which are also in the B complex family. These, from my research, correct me if I'm wrong, but these B vitamins are the reason that people enjoy energy drinks more than coffee, because coffee has caffeine. Energy drinks have caffeine. Energy drinks also, for the most part, will give you 1,000 to 2,000% of your B6 and B12, and that will give you much more of an alert awakeness without crashing than the caffeine. They also, some of them contain taurine, which the jury is out on. But the B vitamins, that's the little secret. So you take a little B vitamin capsule with your coffee, it's a better energy drink. Again, not sponsored by B vitamins. Though if B vitamins walked up to me with their little B shapes with their arms and legs and said, Blaine, because my name starts with a B, and they wanted me to sponsor them, I would in a heartbeat. I'll do it for free, B vitamins. I'll do it for free. All right, so I've considered microdosing. Yeah, so that's what the guy, the mushroom guy offered. He's like, do you want just lion manes or do you want to microdose with your lion's manes? And I'm like, just the lion's mane. I know I have friends who have microdosed, and it works really well for them, especially if they're going through some trauma. But for me, I'm gonna stick with that lion's mane life for now. Typically sauteed, but sometimes I just throw them in the oven with other veggies to roast. Yep. You can do them on shish kebabs too, which is nice. Fun fact, B1 calms horses down. Yeah, so if B1 calms horses down, it probably calms people down too. That's probably why it works in the B complex because you're alert, but not like paranoid, like a lot of things that make you alert. Onnit, ONNIT, is having a huge capitalized sale right now. If any Joe Rogan Alpha Brain homies are up in her. I haven't really watched much Joe Rogan, J-Dog, but what is on it? I'm always down. Is it a mushroom-based supplement? Is it a microdose thing? What is it? Take your vitamin D. So I have a spaghetti dish that I make with portobello, asparagus, and bacon, olive oil, garlic. That sounds amazing, Megan. I love that. That sounds so amazing. I'm going to put it up there. Vitamin B12 and complex make me feel significantly better. And vitamin D. Not being funny. You cannot not be funny, Lindsay. Yeah, vitamin D is very, very good, especially during the winter months, because your body needs that vitamin D to help with mood. And when the winter comes, you get significantly less sunshine, which is a natural source of vitamin D. So if you supplement, it can help stave off depression, from what I've read. Not a doctor, not Joe Rogan. I will eat mushrooms in a soup if it's in there. All right, Becky. All right, we're making. Have you tried stuff like ramen-based soups and like pho-based soups, where the mushrooms they're not your standard portobello mushrooms or button mushrooms? Good morning, Jason. Microdosing at Closer during Stephen Marley. Nice, bro. Oh yeah. Oh, give you energy. Well, a lot of substances have multiple things. So B6 and B12 are definitely give you energy. B1 could help regulate that energy, if that makes sense. I have to look more into it, but I bet you there's some sort of focus or clarity aspect to B1 that we're missing. As a matter of fact, what I can do is we can Google it and we can look at it together. Vitamin B1 X. All right. So what we're gonna do is check this out, guys. I'm going to get through all your comments, so please hold tight. I just want to go here. I want to go to there. All right, so we are sharing. Boom. I'm on some sort of website that looks official. B1, also called thiamine or thiamine, is one of, oh, get out of here, pop up. It's one of 8 B vitamins. All B vitamins help convert food into fuel. Okay, so they help the conversion of food into energy, and that's where they don't just give you energy. Aha! B complex vitamin for healthy liver, skin, hair, and eyes. Yay! Also help the nervous system function properly. There it is. They also help the nervous system function properly and are needed for good brain function. So that can be that calming effect we were talking about. If they help the nerves fire properly. If the nerves are firing improperly, it's very stressful for the body and brain. We don't store them, water soluble. You're not going to overdose, basically. There it is. Like other B complex vitamins, anti-stress vitamin, because it may strengthen the immune system and improve the body's ability to withstand stressful conditions. Boom. There it is. Found in both plants and animals. It is rare to be deficient, although alcoholics, people with Crohn's disease, anorexia, or kidney dialysis may be deficient. people who have trouble digesting carbohydrates, blah, blah, blah. Do etc., etc., available forms, how to take it, blah, blah, blah. All right, guys, let's get out of here. Boop. I'm loving this restream, guys. This is awesome. Now let's roll through those complex. I have to order coffee. I'll be right back. You got it, Kaylin. We need more sunshine can too in our lives. Exactly. Yes, we do. Jennifer, don't forget to take your vitamin D with fat for absorption, aka heavy cream. I just mount down some butter and take a vitamin D. Put it in a stick of deep fried butter. Love ramen, but pick out the mushrooms. I've never had pho. Yeah. Have you tried them? So one thing that I wish I would have done more often is when I swore off mushrooms for this huge chunk of my life, most of it, I missed out on some amazing stuff. And by the finally time I had it, it was too late for me. I missed out on so many flavors. So it may be worth trying at least one bite with every meal that you have. And if you take a bite with the intention of like, I'm not going to try to immediately hate this, you might find a dish or a new dish or a new type of mushroom that you enjoy. Heavy cream is healthy fat, as long as it's not overly processed. Omnet.com is a large supplement company focused on recovery in athletes. That makes sense. Use it for years. Use it total human daily vitamins. Sharpens the paramedics' sleep deprivation brain. Heck yeah, cool. There it is. Yeah, I've considered multivitamins in the past, but I decided to go with the specific vitamins that at specific times. A lot of I'm sure this doesn't apply to the on it, but I noticed a lot of the vitamins in my research that you take in standard multivitamins are from sources that are hard to absorb or that aren't absorbed, and that if you take a specific vitamin, you need to take it in the case of vitamin D, like with fat, to have it function properly. Otherwise, it's just a waste. And other vitamins, if you take too much of, ones that are not water soluble, you can actually overdose on, like vitamin A and things like vitamin K, I want to say as well. But yeah. That being said, I've only encountered the general on-the-shelf multivitamins. And a lot of them don't have the specific things that I'm looking for. These aren't the droids I'm looking for. So it'd be worth checking it out. That's what I mean to say. But that's why I haven't been looking for multivitamins, I guess. Just specifics. Right? Yeah, it's just because I took my B vitamin, right? How very Midwest of you. Good morning, Taylor. How are you? Hopefully you're doing well. Fiona usually steals them, but I'm a sissy and scared to try them. Fear is a weird motivator. Fear is a crazy motivator. I don't want to change your mind, Kaylin. I'm just asking questions. You can dig your heels in as much as you want. Mushroom talk, guy, you going down some dangerous rabbit holes. I know, guys. It's a tough world out there, but we're going. And I'm going specifically because J Dog is boosting my average viewer count for Twitch. If you guys have a Twitch or want to make one just to follow me, twitch.tv/BillingtonMusic. All right. Sorry, that's me thinking. I literally paused because I'm a horrible host. Worst podcast ever. Some random stuff, which I don't know if we talked about or not. These headphones that you see on my ears. These are brand new. I made a TikTok for that reason. Thank you, Kaylin. I got these. These are Sennheiser 280s. I told most of you that one of the ears in my headphones went out, both pairs that I had. So I just bought these. Nice, comfortable, pretty flat response. I'm always looking for studio headphones, which means that they don't inflate the bass or they try to give you a nice balance thing. Plus, they're all closed back, sealed to the ear pretty well, and that helps a lot because when you have microphones, you don't want the bleed from the headphone noise to get into the microphone. So these are nice. I'm trying to get a new set of Audio Technicas, which was my main pair for several years until the ear went out. But I'm going to upgrade to their flagship model. I'm just waiting for them to get in stock. And I might get a second pair of these, actually. These are not bad. Or I might get a cheaper pair of Audio Technicas. I'm not sure. But I want to have 4 or 5 pairs available. One, to just check mixes with on different brands. But 2, when I'm in the studio with people, I want to be able to have them rock it. Splice the other ones together. Yeah, Becky. Right. I'm still looking for someone who can repair headphones. My budget isn't too much because the headphones aren't that expensive. So if somebody wants to, it's probably just resoldering a wire or adding replacing a small piece of wire and then resoldering that. But I was thinking of a budget of like, $40 to $50 for 2 pairs because I'd rather not throw them away. And as soon as I find that deal, I'm going to, rock that deal. So for my everyday headphones, Megan, I have a pair of AirPods, not the Pros, just the normal AirPods. I don't know if you can see that. But... Oh, wait, check. Nah, I'm not even going to deal with it. But those work really well for phone calls and stuff. Just having a nice little set of Bluetooth headphones. Bluetooth will cause delay though, so if I'm tracking, I need to be wired. Otherwise, there's delay from when I hit the note to when you hear the note. What else? What else, guys? Oh, and I got this fancy arm for my thing. Because when I'm teaching guitar lessons, the guitar is right here. And if I have a mic right in front of the guitar, it's all bad. So those are my studio updates. The Barodynamics are really nice, J-Dog, as well. I love it. And honestly, I'll probably grab a pair of those at some point soon. It's what Andrew uses too. But I love my Audio Technicas. I love the sound. So I want to get another set of Audio Technicas. I also have a really good hookup for random stuff. So like these Sennheisers were like, I think I picked them up for like $50, whereas normally they would be $100. I have, Jennifer. I've performed while tripping on mushrooms. I performed while tripping on acid. I even won an award, and it was an actual guitar. I won a guitar at a Battle of the Bands in Columbus, Ohio. Probably like 2000, somewhere between 2001 and 2005. I won the Battle of the Bands, or we didn't win the Battle of the Bands. We were, I think we came in. We got the Musician's Choice Award, which means that every other band voted for our band, but we didn't win the round because we didn't bring the biggest audience. You know, it's all about who brings the most people. And then I won Best Guitarist in Columbus. And the reward was a guitar. And after we played, a buddy of mine, this was back when we were all doing a bunch of LSD, he hands me a beer, and I go to drink the beer, and he starts laughing at me as I drink the beer. Come to find out, he had dosed the beer, and then I just started tripping balls. And then the other bands were playing, and I was tripping more and more. And then the end of the show comes up, and they're doing the awards, and they call my name up for Best Guitarist, and I like go to walk out on the stage tripping, and I'm like super scared. So I just walk up, and I do a little wave, and I grab the guitar, and I run back to the back of the stage because it was too much. It was a cool guitar. I should have kept it. I've had a lot of guitars, a lot of guitars. I've owned just an insane amount of instruments. I've worked at 2 different guitar shops, sales and repair. Just in the time that I worked there, I would get stuff at dealer cost all the time. As I get older, I care less and less, Lindsay. That's the main thing. I feel like because I don't do that stuff so much anymore. I can't even remember the last time I tripped. I originally took psychedelics to expand my consciousness and open the door to reality, and that door has been blown up, and there's nothing less but a big open canyon. There's no going back. So I feel like if people are in a funk with substances, or are just wondering how to thrive without feeling like they screwed up or wasted their lives, I want to be open so that people can hear it and be like, oh, you can be yourself. You can be an adjusted person. You can be whatever. So I try to be open, but I don't want to make it my platform, if you will, necessarily. I don't want people to, when they think of me, also think of Keith Richards, but I'm not gonna lie about it, if that makes sense. And because I think there's a disservice there for people who are in those stages of life, wondering how to get to the next stage of life, and seeing that other people had similar experiences. Why didn't I keep the guitar? I have this habit of buying gear, and then when I would go through a lot of bands. I think at one point I was in like something like 8 bands at the same time. And every time you join a new project, the project has a different sound, a different direction. So I would change my gear to fit the project, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not going to play the same guitar for like a big band jazz project as I'm going to play for, like, at one point I was playing classical guitar with an orchestra for a few shows, and at another point I was playing like weird, trippy, psychedelic jam music, and then I was playing reggae and blah 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 blah. So lots of different types of music, doing pickup gigs for weddings, and so you kind of want different gear. So I would get a piece of gear for a project or for something, and then because I didn't have much money, I would sell what I had to offset the cost of the new thing, be it guitars or amps or whatever. And then I would do the same thing. And for a while, I was actually picking up gear on Craigslist and then flipping it. I think at one point I turned an air conditioner into a guitar, an amp, and some pedals, and then sold them all and made a pretty nice chunk of profit, way more than I would have made just selling the air conditioner. Psychedelics have medicinal value, especially for people who battle depression. Exactly. And that's the other thing that I didn't mention at all. Thank you, Jennifer. Is there's such a stigma about things being horrible, and this is one thing I couldn't express when I was just talking earlier because my brain. People shouldn't be demonized for things like that. If it's not their thing anymore, people shouldn't be tied to that association as the only thing about them, or that they're still, they're still viewed with some sort of stigma. If you take the stigma away from the things, which can be beneficial in the case of like mushrooms, then the people will be less likely to look down on somebody for a history of using those substances in the past. And the more people see other people that are either currently beneficially using something or have used something in the past, even if recreationally, it helps alleviate the stigma of them trying something for the first time. So be like, oh, here's a whole list of people who use something and it helped in these cases, or it shaped people in a way that seems like for the better in the long run. Maybe I'll give it a shot and try this therapy that I was scared of. So many things, but basically, honesty is the best policy, without having to overshare or make something a platform. Honestly, I haven't done DMT in the right circumstances. I'm no Joe Rogan. But I think there can be a lot of benefit to that. I haven't experienced that benefit. For me, most of my experiences were completely recreational, with no intention of or objective goal of healing or growing as a person. That being said, I've had some interesting trips that have helped build my perspective on life, but it wasn't intentional. Don't be a fly in my brain. It itches just thinking about it. Psychedelics have medicinal value. Exactly. Put this comment up there. All the music, right? Yeah. I like to play, and so I ideally I want to play every day, especially when I was younger and very hungry to do it, and very determined. So like, not normally one band never played enough for me. So playing in multiple projects got me playing every night. The only time I stopped playing in a ton of projects was Hyrie, because they played as much as I wanted to play. This is why getting in a group of like-minded individuals is super important for those playing music, because if everyone in the band wants to play just twice a month at the local pub and you wanna tour nationally, there's going to be a disconnect, and it's no one's fault. It's hard when bands have competing viewpoints of what they want to do, and then it leads to struggle and hardship and things like that. So when in reality both points of view are totally fine. Tons of bad trips, bro. I had the trees and spiders, giant spiders, chasing me down through the streets of my hometown once, and that was, oh my god, that was insane. Trip balls, but also make fiscally responsible music instrument purchases. I don't think those purchases were fiscally responsible. Same with weed. Yeah, weed has finally broken its a lot of its stigmas, which is nice, and it just comes for people just being honest with themselves and with others about it. It's nice having these conversations without the feeling of being down for not having done something, and then be able to get another perspective in a responsible conversation. Yeah, I'm never going to tell anyone to do anything. I'm going to say what works for me and what may work for somebody, or may. I always like to give people suggestions, and then suggestions as to what to research. With the lion's mane mushrooms, I've noticed the difference, and I think it's really cool science behind it. So, like, if someone's looking for that, that's something to research. Don't go buy. Don't go just buy it. Like, look into it. We have this wonderful Google machine, and it's there for us to get some perspectives. I know there's information overload, but yeah. Surroundings, company, and setting is very important. Yeah. You know what? Honestly, Lindsay, I want you to rewrite that sentence. Surroundings, company, and setting intentions is really important. And just put a period after the word important, and then take off DMT. Then resubmit the comment. And I think we have the comment of the whole live stream. That is true. There's always more stigmas that need to be broken down. The other thing is, because weed is gotten such a bad rap, people dig their heels in with weed or similar things, into the fact where they feel that there's no ill effects. And there's literally ill effects to everything in some way or another. Even lettuce. The ill effect of lettuce is that there's very little nutritional value depending on the lettuce. And in some lettuces, there's no nutritional value. But lettuce is perfect because it's mostly water, and it's widely considered one of the most perfect foods. But there's no nutritional value there. So if you only ate lettuce, you would die. So in that respect, we have to be honest about weed in a way that we can find out the best case uses for it and the best case scenarios, and not just say weed cures everything all the time. But I understand why people are pushing so hard in that direction is because people have a natural tendency to look down on it. So they're really pushing in one direction. Whereas if there wasn't the stigma to begin with, people wouldn't have to do that, and they could take an honest assessment of something. Boom, Lindsay. Comment of the morning. I like it. I'm used to Blaine nitpicking my sentences. In case you guys didn't know, Lindsay has been crafting my emails. So any email that you've gotten from me, from my mailing list, is made by Lindsay. Everything is bad for you. Yes. It's really, life is a cost benefit analysis. Everything has negatives, everything has positives. Everything you get, material wise, can and will break at some point. The more stuff that you have, the more chances of that stuff breaking. So the more responsibility you have, if you don't want a bunch of broken stuff, to figure out a maintenance schedule. But at the same time, having more stuff enables you to do more things. So what stuff do you need? Same thing with people and relationships. The more relationships you have, the more you have to maintain them, or they break down. The more people that you employ, the more people you have to pay. The less people you have, the less potential you have to make money, and the more hats you have to wear. It's it is what it is. Everything is a cost-benefit analysis. Does the benefits of doing this outweigh the consequences? Because there are always both. Should I spend my next 10 minutes doing this or this? Should I live stream today? Well, the benefit is we get to have these amazing conversations. The detriment is I could spend this hour probably doing something that will make me $50 to $100. I make no money from this. Unless you go to ko-fi.com/DillingerMusic and sponsor my cup of coffee. Or you go to patreon.com/DillingerMusic and check out all my cool stuff. Or you go to dillingermusic.com/shop and pick up some cool new earrings. Okay, I'm done now. Most of my relationships are with animals. Heck yeah. And animals have a cost benefit analysis too. For sure. 1 second. Okay. No. Good morning, bud. How are you? All right. So this is my Dumerals boa. She is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful girl. So having this snake is awesome. I love having snakes. They're super cool. And this girl is a cost benefit analysis. Having her is great. Dealing with her is always the chance that she's going to take a chomp out of one of my fingers, thinking that it's food. Unpleasant. She also costs money in housing. She costs money in feeding. She costs money in electricity. She costs time. If I don't handle her, she will get very defensive, potentially. And I could end up with a snake that no one could handle. She is getting big. I know some of you saw me or saw her when I first got her. She was pretty freaking tiny. Of course, she was 2 months old then. And I think she's 5 months old now. I have to double check. I need to hit the breeder up and get her birthday again. But she's still just a baby. She still is getting used to being handled. And when she's an adult, she can do a lot of damage if I don't put in the time now. So more cost-benefit analysis. Do I take no time to handle her? Or do I take all the time to handle her? Do I handle her a medium amount? What's gonna make for a great handling snake when she's 6 to 9 feet? But yeah, she is a cutie. And horses are always a risk of getting kicked, bit, stomped, knocked over. Yeah, and the more you deal with an animal, the more chances you have with that. The more diversity of a species you deal with, the more that happens. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Kaylin. I make money when people buy shit. It is true. And honestly, that's part of the cost benefit analysis, but there's no guarantee that I make money doing this. If I do something that is a paid project at this time, that's a guaranteed return in my pocket. But we'll see if she takes a chomp out of me. She's never taken a chomp out of me yet, but that doesn't mean it won't happen. Especially being this small. There's always that potential that she thinks I'm food. Yep, 6 to 9 feet, Megan. If she turns out to be a he, which I would say 80% sure that she is a she. But if she turns out to be a he, then it's probably more like 4 to 6 feet. Let's see. You will make money here with time as well. Yeah, that's the cost benefit analysis. Is eventually on YouTube and Twitch, and I could get some advertising revenue. The spots get bigger and more well known, and there's more money involved with building something than it is with taking the instant cash. But that's one of the reasons I opted to do 3 days a week rather than 7 days a week, because I can take some of that extra time and make some money. She is a marketing write-off. It is true, honestly. All of my animals are business expenses because they're in the studio. They're part of the studio aesthetic. And I was told by my tax guy that works. Same reason why doctor's offices have fish. It's part of my branding. I have logos with snakes, etc. Yep, that's the whole pitch, right? Now, at least for now, my benefit is mainly for my sanity, and that's why I started doing this broadcast in the first place. Is literally for my sanity and to hang out with people. It is important that for me, for my sanity, to do something that I love already. And it's important for me to connect with people and to bounce ideas off of other people, and that's why we're here. That's also why I have the Patreon Producers Club. It's good to get other opinions. It's good to chat with people. It's good to understand all the things. So if you can find ways to turn your passions into income, you'll be doing really, really well. You can see little signs. I'm not sure if you guys can see that on the camera, but you can see she's got a little bit of heavy breathing going. She's like, is this person going to eat me? Am I a menu item? What is this smell? Is this food? This doesn't smell like my food. Is this too big to eat? I'm in talks. I have a list of guests that I made. And so hopefully soon I will have a couple of guests. And as soon as that happens, I will bug Lindsay until she makes me a flyer. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed talking about mushrooms. So as you can see now, all of my focus is on watching her body movements and head. Cost-benefit analysis. The more I pay attention, the less chance I have of getting bit and the less chance I have of stressing her out. So I'm going to refocus my attention now that we've been chatting for an hour. Oh, thanks, man. I love it. Cheers, by the way. And yeah, so I'm going to get back to work. As always, feel free to DM me, hit me up. If you like the heck yeah, Jennifer, if you like the content, please share with your friends. Share the social media, share the music, share the experience, and have them hit that subscribe button on YouTube and Twitch. Appreciate you guys. Happy Friday, Mickey. We're just heading on out. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate each and every one of you. Say bye. Goodbye.